Hi guys, in today's video we will be discussing everything you need to do in order to ensure you prepare for the IELTS exam, and also I will be discussing the differences between the IELTS General exam and the academic exam, which one you need to take, and also the band score that you need to achieve for whether it be university, working, or for visa purposes. Please continue watching. Please subscribe to my channel because I will be releasing new content every Friday. Just a little bit about myself. I am an IELTS instructor for the past 6 years in Canada, and I've helped hundreds of students achieve high band scores to come to Canada. If you think I can help you, then please support me by subscribing down below and comment, as I'd love to meet you all. So for those who don't know, what is IELTS? IELTS is an international English language testing system that people who plan to move to an English-speaking country have to take. So either for the purposes of work, post-secondary education, or for visa purposes, if you plan to move to countries such as Canada, the UK, US, or Australia, you will need to complete this test. Actually, an interesting fact, did you know over 3 million people take the IELTS exam every year? So it's quite a popular exam in these countries, and you would have to take it depending on your needs, which I'll cover later on in this video. So depending if you need to take it for academic purposes or if you need to take it for visa purposes, you'd have to know which one to take. So the IELTS academic exam includes 4 different sections, which is the reading section, speaking section, listening section, and writing section. So with the IELTS academic exam, those people who either want to attend a university degree level program in an English-speaking country would have to take the IELTS academic exam. Or if someone works within a profession of a doctor, a nurse, they would be required to take the academic exam to transfer their credentials in an English-speaking country. Or you would have, for the purposes of work, some jobs, some employers actually require you to take an IELTS academic exam just to see your level of proficiency in the English language. So these are some reasons that you would have to take the IELTS academic exam to move to an English-speaking country. So here's a breakdown of the IELTS academic exam. So between the IELTS academic exam and the IELTS general exam, you will be tested on these 4 sections. However, between the academic and the general exam, the reading section and the writing section differs a bit. The questions that are asked within these 2 sections are a bit different between the academic and general exam, but the speaking and the listening sections are the exact same. So let's look at this breakdown of the reading section. So the reading section, you will be given 60 minutes with 40 questions, and you will be provided with 3 different passages. So these passages could include something along the lines of an interesting article about facts or something interesting that's happening in today's world. And then you will be provided with questions you would have to answer, such as multiple choice, true or false, paragraph location, statement matching, match headings, sentence completion. Please visit my website if you'd like to know more about the IELTS academic exam and how these type of questions look. I provide you with a lot of strategies on my website, eslwords.com. you can find the link down below that will help you hopefully score a high band within the IELTS exam. So for the speaking section, you will have to answer 3 different parts within 10 to 15 minutes approximately. The examiner will ask you questions about yourself, maybe the type of family you have, if you have children, your work life, what type of home you have, whether you live in an apartment or house. We will cover these questions in a later video. And then part 2 will you will be tested on the task card, which is a few questions. You will be given a task card with about 3 to 4 questions about a particular time, or let's say, like, tell me about a time, the first job you ever worked. What was it? What did you do? And who did you work for example. So you will be given 3 questions you would have to answer about a particular topic. And then part 3, you would have to touch up on some further questions that you will be asked about the same subject from part 2. So this speaking section lasts for about 15 minutes. I highly recommend that you act confident, you show your confidence, because obviously the speaking section could be a bit nerve-wracking for many people. But the more confident you are in what you're saying, the examiner will sense that, and you will answer better without making some mistakes. So the writing section is about 60 minutes, and you will be given 2 questions. The 2 questions you will be given is task 1, where you have to describe the given graph or a chart or a diagram, bar graph, and you would have to describe what's happening within these images in a 150 words essay. So no sweat, I actually have a really good article I just posted about task 1, giving you a lot of strategies to help you pass the writing task 1 section of the IELTS examination. I will link down the task 1 below to ensure that it will help you, because I genuinely want to help all of you guys succeed in your IELTS exam. So task 2 will be about 40 minutes, and you will have to write a 250-word essay discussing a topic that will be provided to you. This topic could vary, and it could be about technology, global warming, something to do with the news. We will go over these a bit more in more videos, but this is just a general overview of how the formatting is. So the listening section will be about 30 minutes, and you will have to answer 40 questions. So about 10 questions per section, or per recording, because you will be given 4 different recordings. So the first recording, you will hear 2 people discussing something to do with everyday life, such as traffic, weather, things like this. And then the second recording will be 3 people discussing something within the context of social life, the latest news, and then you would be given some questions that you would have to answer. And then the third recording would be 4 people having a conversation in an educational setting, like a lecture hall or a classroom, and you would have to listen to the conversation happening. And then the last recording you'll hear is a conversation happening within an academic subject. So it could be a bunch of people asking questions, and you would have to listen in for the answers. So let's move on to the band scores that you would need the overall band scores that you would need to ensure that you achieve a high mark. Like, you can never fail the IELTS exam. However, you would need a particular score or a minimum score of 6.5 to enter to register for a university within Canada. So, for example, for the University of Ottawa, Toronto, British Columbia University, University of Calgary, or York, you would need to score an overall band of 6.5. But keep in mind that you cannot have a score of six or lower than six for any of the other sections of the examination. So, for example, for listening, speaking, reading, writing, you have to have at least a score of 6, or else you will not achieve the score that you are looking for. So just keep that in mind. We will work together to ensure that you score a high band. And please subscribe to my channel, because I will be putting out content every Friday to help you score a high band, as I've helped many students that I've tutored the past 6 years for the IELTS exam. So next is the IELTS General Exam. The IELTS General Exam, as I mentioned earlier, you will also be tested on 4 different parts, which include reading, speaking, listening, and writing. As I mentioned, the writing will be a bit different in this part, and the reading will be a bit different in this part. So the speaking and listening will be the same exact as the IELTS academic exam. So just keep that in mind. If I ever put out content for speaking and listening for the academic exam, the people who are taking the general exam should keep that in mind and take those strategies that I include in my videos into consideration. So anyway, IELTS General Exam, those who take it are individuals who are applying for visa to these particular English-speaking countries. So to move over there with their families, or to enroll into a post-secondary institute in a program that's lower than a degree level. So maybe a community college or a certificate program you are applying to, you would be required to take the IELTS General Exam and not the IELTS Academic Exam. So please do keep that in mind, depending on what program you are applying to and what their requirements are. I highly recommend that before anything, you always double check with the school that you are applying to or your employer to see what they require. So let's talk about the IELTS General Exam format. So as I mentioned earlier, the speaking and the listening sections of the general exam will be the same exact as the academic exam. So I won't cover much of those 2 parts. However, I will emphasize on the reading section because it will be a bit different. So for the reading section of the IELTS exam, for the general exam, you will be given 2 shorter passages that will include an interesting article about facts or something interesting happening in today's world, or the news, or the weather. And the 3rd passage will be a bit longer. So the questions can be the same type of questions. They will range from multiple choice, true or false, paragraph location, statement matching, and match headings. So just keep those in mind. We will cover these in more videos, so you could become familiar with these type of questions and hopefully achieve the score that you are looking for. So for the writing portion of this general exam, the task 1, you will be given 20 minutes to write a letter explaining a problem or requesting information, maybe to a friend, to a colleague, to your boss. I will link down below right here what exactly you need and what steps you need to take in order to write your task one properly following a particular format. My strategy has helped many students pass their IELTS exam, so I can guarantee you if you use the same strategy that I linked down below, you will ensure that you score a high band for task one. And task two, you would have to write a 250-word essay discussing a topic that will be provided to you. Now, this essay topic could vary, and as we will cover this in further videos, what kind of topics you will see and things like that. So as I mentioned, please follow the same instructions I gave in the previous slide for the listening and speaking, because they are the same exact format. So let's continue to discuss the score requirements for visa purposes for the IELTS General Examination. For instance, for express entry, you would need to score a 6.0 overall band for Canada, and for the US you would need a 6.0 band score, and for the UK you would require a 4.0 for UK visa, and for Australia you would need a 6.0. So these are very important numbers to keep in mind when you are applying for your visa. So now let's look at how the IELTS scores are calculated for both the academic and the reading examination. So as I mentioned, you will be given a separate score in each section. So speaking, reading, writing, listening, and then they take these four numbers and they take all the numbers and divide it by 4. Which is 7.5 for these numbers. So as I mentioned, it's very important to keep in mind that some programs you are applying to or schools require you and emphasize that you cannot get a lower score than maybe 6 or 6.5 depending on what you are applying for. So please, it's always important that you keep these numbers in mind and always double check the programs you are applying for and what their requirements are, their minimum requirements. Also, thank you so much for watching my video today. So I'm very excited to share my strategies with you that I've helped many students succeed in the IELTS examination. Please subscribe to my channel and visit my website at www.eslwords.com. Follow me on social media, as I will be including lots of videos, lots of strategies to help you with your IELTS examination. Thank you, and I will be putting out content every Friday, so please subscribe to ensure that you don't miss all the information I give you.